Mr. 1001 Nights. Unfortunately, I've been working way too much, but I have wanted to answer your questions. So let me just get right to it. First, the link between Buddhism and anarchism. Yes, I see a very strong link between my Buddhism and anarchism. It's something that actually I've been meaning to touch on, so I thank you for the question. I think at first glance, a lot of people find Buddhism and anarchism quite incongruous. I've actually gotten quite a few comments regarding this. Buddhism is typically seen as very elegant, peaceful, maybe even beautiful. Anarchism, on the other hand, as you well know, is typically viewed in much harsher terms, perhaps the most maligned ideology on the face of the planet. Anarchists are usually equated with terrorists, and anarchy is typically associated only with chaos. But if one delves a little deeper to the roots of these philosophies, it might begin to make a little more sense. Essentially, the way I see it, I see both ideologies, for lack of a better term, as paths towards freedom. As Chomsky put it in his essay, Notes on Anarchism, for the anarchist, freedom is not an abstract philosophical concept, but the vital, concrete possibility for every human being to bring to full development all the powers, capacities, and talents with which nature has endowed him, and turn them to social account. One of my favorite anarchists, Emma Goldman, put the matter quite well. Anarchism, then, really stands for the liberation of the human mind from the dominion of religion, the liberation of the human body from the dominion of property, liberation from the shackles and restraint of government. Anarchism stands for a social order based on the free grouping of individuals for the purpose of producing real social wealth, an order that will guarantee to every human being free access to the earth and full enjoyment of the necessities of life, according to individual desires, tastes, and inclinations. Now, for some, that first sentence from Emma Goldman might seem to be a stumbling block. A popular slogan among anarchists is, "No gods, no masters." And typically, anarchists are anti-religion. But I don't see a problem here, and I think Emma would agree. You see, man's position, according to Buddhism, is supreme. Man is his own master, and there is no higher being or power that sits in judgment over our destiny. The freedom of thought allowed by the Buddha is unheard of elsewhere in the history of religions. This freedom, is necessary because according to the Buddha, man's emancipation depends on his own realization of truth, and not on the benevolent grace of a god or any external power as a reward for obedient behavior. This propensity for freedom and independence of thought is summed up quite well in the story of the Buddha visiting a town called Kesputa in the kingdom of Kosala. The inhabitants were known by the common name Kalama. When they had heard that the Buddha was in town, they approached him. I'm going to paraphrase what they said, but it basically went like this. "Sir, a lot of people come, and they explain their doctrine and practice, and they despise and condemn the doctrines and practices of others. But for us, sir, we have always doubt and perplexity as who among them is telling the truth, and who is not telling the truth." The Buddha then gives them advice that is unique in the history of religions. He says, "Yes, Kalamas, it is proper that you have doubt, that you have perplexity. Do not be led by reports or tradition or hearsay. Do not be led by authority or religious texts, nor by mere logic or reference or inference, nor by considering appearances, nor by the delight in speculative opinions, nor by seeming possibilities, nor by the idea, 'This is our teacher.' But when you know for yourselves that certain things are unwholesome and wrong and bad, then give them up. And when you know for yourselves that certain things are wholesome and good, then accept them and follow them." You see, Buddhism, if taken seriously, is a path of practice that gives us the tools to develop discernment, concentration, and compassion. It's a path of practice that helps free our minds of unnecessary delusions about the world and our place in it. And in the same vein as anarchism, the Buddhist path is chiefly concerned with liberation of the mind. Buddhism can neatly be summed up in the following verse from the Dhammapada. The non-doing of any evil, the performance of what is skillful, the cleansing of one's own mind. This is the teaching of the awakened. And this, for me, leads to the distinction and link between the two. Anarchism is primarily focused on the external world, i.e. those people and institutions who have illegitimate authority over our lives, and how we can dismantle and create a better world based on freedom and cooperation, rather than exploitation and domination. Buddhism then focuses on the internal world of our minds. The Buddha, if nothing else, understood the mind, and his teachings provide us the tools to develop discernment and wisdom to see things as they truly are. So essentially, I think they complement each other quite well. As to your second question, yes, I have used magic mushrooms. My experience is that hallucinogens do provide insight into the nature of the mind and our perceptions of reality. And the experience is very analogous to my experiences in meditation. The only problem or possible problem that I see is that the use of hallucinogens usually lacks discipline that you might get through a serious meditation practice, and thus the insights may be of little lasting value. So I hope that I answered your questions. It's been a pleasure to find you. I've really enjoyed your videos, and your latest one, Cogs, is superb. So keep up the great work. And if any of you have not checked out Mr. 1001 Nights, go check him out. He's got a great channel. He's got some great vids. He's a sharp thinker. And much love and respect. Have a great night.